What's going on, guys? This is the DeFi Crypto Alliance show where we're doing our best to be the bridge between our fellow real estate investors, entrepreneurs alike, and the cryptocurrency space because, gosh, this year in 2024 should get pretty wild. It is the biggest opportunity over the next year or two, and it's not even close. Welcome along on the journey. We're pumped to have you guys along. Corey, take it away.
Absolutely. Corey Geary here. And is my mic sounding okay still, Dane? Am I
Sounds
still
great,
good to go? Awesome. And just truly blessed to be here on this journey with you guys. Once again, to use cryptocurrency as that wealth creation tool and use real estate as a wealth preservation tool. And we're starting a little bit early today, guys. Usually we're 10, 15 minutes after the hour, but today we have to wind down a little bit on the early side. We got to be out of here, within about 40 minutes. So we have another meeting that we're committed to. So we figured we'd come on and try to give you guys as much time as possible to come rap with us about anything crypto, anything real estate, anything money, anything economy. We don't care. And if you want to talk family and love too, I'd be open to that also. So whatever you guys want to come on and talk to us about, we are open. We are all ears. Let's talk about some goals in cryptocurrency for 2024. Mine is still to just accumulate. Obviously, I probably won't be doing a DCA this month. Perfectly fine. I did one this last month. But I'm going to be accumulating, holding, compounding interest, right, as I'm making my money from my, liquidity providing, my liquid loan staking, stuff like that. Even the money I'm making from TitanX, the biggest Ponzi in crypto history. I am going to be taking that money and going to be coming into Pulse Chain with that. And that is kind of the goals for me, man. It's still accumulation until I think it's got to be somewhere around SAC price or above SAC price, where I probably start turning off my accumulation mode and maybe I go into other opportunity seeking mode, or maybe it's just holding and stacking some cash, until more opportunity comes up in the future. So I don't know. That's kind of where I'm looking for 2024. What's up, Norbert? How we doing?
Hello. Look at that. Finally, I got my first Hexy.
He's got a Hex-Ray vision.
Good.
I like it, man. Looking sharp today, dude.
I felt embarrassed every time you all these goodies on you, and I'm like,
I got the
got something cool.
It was cold this morning. I woke up, man. I woke up here and it's like 70.
Are you in Arizona or what are you now?
I'm in Arizona, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was cold, so I threw the hoodie on and I'm still a little bit I'm perfect right now. So
nice. Yep. Dane, you were mentioning something. Are you moving to Puerto Rico as well, or thinking about it?
There's some more 2024 goals.
That's one of my 2024 goals. So we went out there in April last year to be able to get a feel for, or maybe it was May. But we went out there for my family for about 3 weeks to be able to get a feel for things, lay of the land. And we had company over this Christmas. My house I live in is fine. We've lived here for a number of years and it's worked out good. But when we have company, it starts to get crowded relatively quickly. And so we did. We had company for the holidays, and my wife, she approached me. She's been the one that's been more resistant to Puerto Rico. But she approached me in January and said, what if we just sold the house that we've got right now and then give us more flexibility to have something nicer in Puerto Rico? And I said, well, you're the one that we're waiting for. So if that works for you.
Actually, I might know someone who can help. His name is Corey.
Right.
Oh man.
I wish I'd have kept my real estate license active for one more year, but that's all right. I got plenty of friends that could go throw it on the MLS for a good deal for me.
Yep.
Nice one.
So our plan is to move out there in February, and then once we're there, I can have our guys that we use to rehab houses when we were flipping houses. I can set them loose on our house to do some additional updating, get everything nice and tight, and then hopefully have it on the market in March is my goal. And that'll be they'll start to be the prime time where selling starts to heat back up again. And I'm hoping I can hit it just right where maybe the government's stimulating the economy just a hair. and rates are coming down just a little bit before everybody realizes that this is not necessarily a good thing, and I can get a good value. So we'll see.
Yeah, I wish you all the best with that, man. If
Appreciate
Corey
it.
could do it, you can do it too. You have a good heart, a nice family, so I'm sure it's gonna work out well.
It will work out
Appreciate it,
well.
man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
What are you guys? What are you guys' thoughts on PulseX? I've been accumulating a little bit more, not a ton, but it's been a smaller position that I've been accumulating a little bit. We'll start with you, Norbert. What's your take?
Me too. Like I said last time, one of my friend was telling me that, you should put a bit more money into crypto and you should also step out of your comfort zone and learn about new things. It's not just Richard Hart and not just Hex, other things out there as well. And I'm like, we had this discussion with you guys last time that it's good to draw a line. Yeah, you say, okay, I put in 30 grand already in crypto. If it's gonna work out fine, happy days. If not, then I have a very expensive lesson to learn. But it's better to learn a new skill and new stuff. But what I'm doing is, and thank you so much for Buck and Dylan to give us that beautiful platform. Instead of just wasting time and getting dusty or crypto, you can have it on the platform and earn some yield. And like I said last time, I'm just getting that yield and then buy some depending on what I'm using it for each time. But yeah, PLSX is a good opportunity because that dropped the most out of all the SEX. Liquid loans as well on similar price level in that case, but just a lot of. Also, let me just close my shorts on Tesla 1 second. Starting to go into the dollar.
Norbert's doing a little bit of trading. Yeah, so I've been acquiring a little bit more PulseX. What have you been doing, Corey?
Yeah, I mean, I did a small DCA back in November. I think I still have my original bag. I've topped it up. We are in like the most contrarian hated ecosystem. So I think like I love that part. Like that we're very contrarian. And then inside of our ecosystem, PulseX is like the most hated coin inside our little bubble. And so like that's the contrarian on the contrarian. And the last time that happened, when we saw the big influx of fighting of eHex versus pHex, what happened? Well, eHex freaking ripped and almost reached parity to pHex after it went to like, I don't even remember what it was. Oh my God, 2-to-1 or 3-to-1. Who knows? I can't remember. But like it showed everybody, look, I'm the most hated coin, so F you, here's what I'm doing. And I think PulseX can do the same, man. It literally only takes Richard tweeting out and saying, hey, we're going to update the farms. That could be one. Or, hey, you know what? Single-sided staking is looking like it might go live in May. That could be one. I'm not saying that's going to happen, guys. It's not financial advice. I'm coming up with something that could, pump the price. Or he might say, oh, hey, guys, we're going to be initiating a DAO, whether the DAO is an incentive token type play or if it's off of PulseX, I don't know, right? But any of this type of stuff would absolutely make a rip against Pulse. And so my goal is I have a PulseX bag, right? And this is my goal for everything. It's like it's not no secret. Like I'm going into Pulse. But if I see my PulseX get close to, a parity, or maybe it's like a 1.5 to 1, well, then that PulseX is going to be flipped into Pulse. So that's what it's. I'm using it as a leverage now, a leverage play on Pulse. And that's what I'm doing. All my coins, really, everything's just a leverage play on Pulse. At the end of the movie, and then at the end of the movie, of course, when I sell my Pulse, maybe I go into Ethereum. To hang out there for a minute while the market cycle finishes out and does what it does, because Ethereum tends to stay up at the top. It stayed at the top for 6 months last time. Same with Bitcoin. You can go to Bitcoin too if that's another one. I like Ethereum better. And then from there, going into dollars or real estate. But yeah, that's my take on it, man. I think, man, if you don't have a bag of it, I think this is not financial advice, of course. But if you don't have a bag of it, maybe you might want to look at potentially getting a bag of that because it's at a deep discount. And you're right, Dane, it's the one that got demolished like the most.
Oh, that was Norbert. Yeah.
Norbert. Sorry, Norbert. Yeah, you the one who pointed it out. It freaking got demolished. Like it got crushed.
And one more thing which many participants doesn't consider. If you look at it, how much money was sacrificed, that money is just sitting somewhere doing nothing, yeah, not being used. That's my first point. That bullet hasn't even reached the gun, it's just still sitting on the side in a box. And knowing Richard, and if someone who is like a reputable businessman, let's say, you release a product with 1 or 2 functions and looking okay-ish, no developments, no upgrades and stuff like that. I can't imagine that, Richard was doing in the background for 2 years this, and then walk away like, yeah, we tried, it didn't work. Like, remember last time we had that spaghetti analogy, you throw it on the wall, if it sticks, it's good. I only have the noodles, I don't have the sauce or the cheese, I'm so poor. So I can't really see Richard doing that, like release a half-baked product with not many functionalities and then see how it goes. And if it fails, then tough life. It ain't gonna happen. The time is not right to do any further advancements on that platform.
Agreed.
Because
100%.
we all know it's like I wouldn't do it either. If the people are on my back and saying like, oh, so what exactly are you doing there? I wouldn't be like, yeah, I get all these goodies and I'm gonna do this, and this, and this. No.
Oh my gosh, I agree so much. And I do want to comment on this. If it's the most hated, how does it rip? Because that means it's also the most depressed. All the lettuce hands have let go of their bags. It's the most depressed as far as the floor is concerned. And if any kind of bullish news comes out, it slingshots it. It literally slingshots it. Now, I don't think it's going to be West Coast crypto prediction. But, you make your own financial decisions off of this stuff. I build my bags in a way where I don't need a 10,000x, 1,000x, even 100x. Like, do I want 100x? Hell yeah. Do I need it? No, I do not. So, if I get a nice 20 or 30x out of Pulse X, man, you're going to see me and Dane dancing down in Puerto Rico on the beach.
Yes. We'll be naked.
doing handstands like Sami talks about.
That's right. Well, I just like Corey posted this in our Telegram yesterday. I think this is I just think
a couple of them I posted. It was 2 different times he was talking about the money on the side.
Here, let me turn.
And they had like,
can you hear it?
all this money.
Not really.
Not really. It's like, no.
Hold
you
on.
might have to.
Hold on. Let me try this.
You've done this before.
Dumping the thing they liked.
Is that better?
No.
Okay, I've got to change the audio. 1 second. This is important. I want to make sure we do this. Okay. Let's change this to here.
Bezos bought shares in Amazon. Would you be?
Yeah. So now rewind it. Yeah.
If Apple does a stock buyback and but like in theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.
Play the other one if you can see it in there, Dane. It's a little bit further back on the Telegram.
Audio work, then you guys could hear it?
Yeah, oh yeah, we could hear it. And Money Game Crypto guys did a great post on this, what they call the flush address. The flush address is where where there's some monies that that's not really tied to the OA. I would recommend checking out Money Gains Crypto tweet on that. Basically, RH, and he mentioned it in that. And if you can find that video, Dane, I don't know if you can see it in the Telegram. He mentions it how RH is sitting on over 1 million Ethereum. And most likely that Ethereum is node validating. So if Ethereum, you have 1 million Ethereum node validating, and it's not tied to the OA, it's in other wallets. Because that's what he made, that's what he raised up in the Hex, where did the ETH go narrative. Everyone's like, where did the ETH go? Well, none of your business. But if a Magic Carpet ride happens, you knew where the ETH went. And if it doesn't, there's no expectations, right? That's the whole gig, right? There's no expectations of profits from the work of others. We don't know if he's going to do anything with that. We don't. We're speculating. But I mean, we do know RH and we do know what he's done in the past. History doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. And so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And you make your bets accordingly. I do like the idea of going, okay, if I'm going to allocate a probability of a rug pull, what is my percentage of that? And then in my head, I can go, what's the probability of Magic Carpet ride? What's the percentage of that in my head?
Is it this video?
Yes.
Is it this clip?
Steve, Steve, you can
let me play it. Let me change the audio real quick. All right.
This is great too. Really pay attention to what he's saying. Whether it happens or not.
Centralization for some really, really rich guy. Like people like to assume that there's
really hear it in the videos.
Not that great, the audio.
What's the risk that they might do a Magic Carpet ride and just move the price for a laugh? Where do you assign that risk? In anything I do, no expectation of work of others, but you got to assign risk to both those probabilities. You think there's going to be rug pull? What if there's just unreasonable buying and no one ever thinks about that?
So in the beginning of the video, he talks about, you go ahead and play it again.
There we go. Hear me now?
Yeah, StreamYard screen share sucks.
It's not super clean. Did that work though? The audio worked on that clip?
Not really.
Gosh dang it. Well, but to your point, like Richard's just saying, you guys could probably see the captions. He's just saying that you have to weigh both sides, right? You have to weigh the risk of downside of something being a rug pull. You have to also weigh the upside of things going incredibly well, and then make your bets.
And part of
and
part of the risk he was saying is you got to weigh in the fact that this founder may or may not have been given 1 million Ethereum. During the, he didn't allude to exactly where, but that was during the adoption amplifier, right? And then also this founder may or may not have been mining Bitcoin in the early days when he was receiving 50 Bitcoin per block or whatever that is, rewards. You got to weigh those things in when you're thinking about things. And yeah, there's all the SEC FUD, and I get it. Stuff might not happen until after we get some more clarity after the SEC, and that could be very well justified. I get that, but still, we are far from over.
Yeah, and definitely for clarification, that clip is from the Hex days. So that ETH, he got that from the adoption amplifier. But the same concept still applies. He got an obscene amount of donations from the sacrifice phase. What might he do with that? Richard is not undercapitalized, and that's where you see a lot of these things fail, is because they run out of cash, like the Staker app, and Richard is not that person. So
now he ain't gonna have that problem.
No.
Yeah, he's not gonna have that problem at all. And There's people who've done chain analysis and they see what's in the flush address. That's what it's called, the flush address versus the OA address. And it's a completely different address. And yeah, go do your own due diligence on it. But there's a lot of money there, a lot of money. The guy is, yeah, this is, and what's funny is because the SEC stuff, which is really kind of bullish to me, the SEC stuff that the wallets they allude to in the SEC the documents is only the Pulse X sacrifice address, which is holding the 600 million. The other monies that are in other places, that's not in the SEC stuff. So
Sure.
it'll be, now I'm sure he's still like, leery about moving things around and doing things, because I'm sure like he doesn't want like people doing chain analysis and pointing fingers, because they can do that very easily. And right now we get a lot of squirmy people in Hexaco who will do it. So I'm sure he's being careful, but yeah.
Yep, I'm with you. And I think this is a good take here from Switchkill. Yeah, I still believe that once the ETH bull takes off and transaction costs go up heavily, people may shift to Pulse to save on costs. I agree. I think this matters in the bull run. I don't think it matters a whole lot right now. But man, like you and me, Corey, we both participated in a protocol on Ethereum yesterday, and it was painful. I haven't been on an ETH in months, and it was painful.
Painful.
$60 for a transaction. Like it's wild.
Come on.
Yeah.
For a little degen play that we're trying to do, and freaking $60, man. It's like, and at that point you're like, okay, well, if I'm only putting in a couple $100 or $100, is it even worth it anymore? Like the ratio there, it's like you got to be putting enough in to make it worth it. And I forgot about that, the factor when it comes to Ethereum. It's like anything you do over there, man. You can't just go around pushing buttons. You get so used to Pulse Chain. You can push buttons all day long and do whatever you want. It doesn't cost you much money. Over on Ethereum, nah, you push one button and you're out $30.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like, what? Oh man.
Mm-hmm. So plenty of upside to come in our opinions. I think it'll be really fun to see, and it'll be interesting. I think that it'll be fascinating to see. So, for instance, I want to talk about this. I think this is pretty interesting. So we saw Bitcoin. There was a nice Bitcoin dip yesterday. And look at this. So this is one of for Bitcoin, like this is a big move on the daily. This red candle, look at just get eaten right up. This is nuts. This reversal here. Like it's almost all the way eaten back up. We're getting close back to, what it topped out at close to 46K, and we're back to 44. Like if you don't think that we're in the beginnings of the bull run, I don't know what to tell you. Like it's pretty wild to see these dips get eaten up so rapidly. And while some of the other ecosystems were affected when this dip happened in Pulse Chain, I mean, I think you're seeing a lot of the sellers that are already sold out. Like this dip happened, and I'm watching to see how things in Pulse Chain respond. There's just not much of a response because I think a lot of the selling's done.
The only seller we saw in the last few days was Steph. I mean, he sold a lot of his positions off. I guess he has another stake coming out in 2030. Of course, he could have wallets that are non-disclosed that people don't know about. Everybody's got secret wallets. But a lot of the selling was done through him. Right.
So we're good. Yeah, we're just hanging out. And I think it's important to point out too.
I hope we stay down I know you guys probably don't agree with me on this. I hope we stay down in these levels for a couple more months. Like bring it on. Like I think it's Hans that says the longer we stay down suppressed like this, the higher upside potential we'll see. That's what he says. He's always, we want to stay down here. He wants to stay down here for a whole year, which means that lines up with Richard Hart's 52 weeks of shaking out the weak hands, right? Staying suppressed for a whole year before slingshotting up. And that's what Hans wants to see. And will we happen? We don't know. But like people are getting all mad because we've been down here for the last 5 months, 6 months, saying that we're not going to move. Well, Link was down suppressed for over a year, about a year and a half before it slingshot up. Now, it got to get suppressed in the beginning of the bear market. We did not. We got held stuck in time in the middle of the bull market because we had to launch for everyone to go and sell and jeet their bags. So we need ample time to complete our bear market now. Now we're behind everybody. So, and that's fine, because last time when Hex did its thing, it did it a month after Bitcoin's top. So I hope we stay suppressed. I hope we give me, I'm being greedy, another 2 or 3 months of coming in with some DCA money so I can build my bags a little bit bigger. Give me 2 or 3 months to take profits on some shit coinery in the lottery and bring it back over in the Pulse chain, right? You know, like,
Right.
like, give me a few more months of these suppressed prices for we take off. I'm for it, man. I am for it, and I am here for the ride. And so, yeah, now if we start popping up before then, that's fine too. I get it. You guys will be happy. You guys want to see green candles. I understand. For me, man, I know we're good, and I want to be down here to continue building my bags. Because there is a point where I stop building my bags. Like, I mean, what point is that? I don't know. We've talked about this before. Like, maybe it's above SAC price. I don't know how much above SAC price. But there's a point where it's like, man, I've accumulated so much. And now when I'm making let's say, let's use easy math. Maybe you're doing a $10,000 buy order, a bid, and it's like you're getting a third of the coins or a quarter of the coins that you were getting 2 months ago. It's like, you're not as motivated to make that DCA no more. You're just not. You're like, you know, maybe I go look for other opportunities in the Pulse Chain ecosystem. Maybe Tetra's on a dip. Maybe Fame's on a dip. I don't know. Maybe you start allocating money that way. But there is a point where you're just like, you know, I've got my seat, right? You got your seat on the rocket ship, and you're good. It's like, all right, I don't need no more. Maybe,
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That was a beautiful explanation, and the way how you see and think about the current situation. And I know I try to bring this up quite often when we talk, but 2 points I can make regarding your explanation, which is related. Number one is that, again, going back to Richard, if you look at him as a experienced investor, businessman, and crypto persona, then what is the biggest problem with crypto? That we're dependent on two things: the performances, Bitcoin and Ethereum. If those guys are heading sharp, everyone is behind, like, yeah, you know, when you have these weddings, you know, we're holding each other,
Sure.
saying like, la, la, la.
It's a party.
Yeah, like a party time. But if those two guys at the front, they get tired and they sit down and they're like, no, we danced enough for tonight, then, you know, the mood drops and everyone is like, oh, okay, maybe I just have a drink as well. So to achieve that, you know, to be dependent on these two guys, then we have to make things which might be painful right now, but later on down the line, when we get completely separated from all these noise and everything, then probably it's going to be good for us. And then if you think like Richard thinks that, you know, if he would start shooting the bullets now, everyone would be like, oh, okay, I take my money and then run away. Okay, I grab my money and run away. But if you let everyone suffer the most, and then only the hardcore people stay, or the people who deserve it, or people who believe in it, and then let's say the timing would be like, we have this. That's why when Paul made this point last time, and unfortunately I didn't express myself too well. I was talking about London properties. I'm like, man, the guy was talking about something else. So sorry about last time. What I was trying to say is that if you decolorate yourself completely from those guys, then, you know, then you can truly thrive. Because let's say that in the past it was like that, okay, but what if this time is different? We never had a huge amount of sacrifice before in crypto, for example. As far as I know, there was always someone coming in with a limited amount of capital, or like a huge player like CZ, you know, and then making pancake swap, because then everything started coming up last time, which I really enjoyed. So if you look at it that way, probably something like that's going to happen, in my opinion. Let's say we have our Bitcoin thing going on, but everything is just so hard to predict, because everything depends on the economy. If the economy flies, people have cashy to throw it in, or they become so desperate that they only gonna put it into the safest Bitcoin or whatever. But if that happens, then we have bigger things to worry about than, in my opinion, than how is our crypto doing, because hyperinflation is gonna be like crazy. You grab your money, you go to the shop like in Argentina, and like, hey, can I have 2 bread, please? Here is the money. No, you can only have 1. What do you mean? I have the money. No, it's only worth like this much now. So here's 1 bread. There you go. So
Right.
if that happens, then let's say we have our bull market, Bitcoin goes up to, let's say, 100K, and then it's shorter than expected, comes down, and then everyone is crying, and then the SEC gets sorted, and then Richard's like, you see, guys, because I'm sure he's here for the glory. He would be happier to grab it on anyone's face, like he did when he called out all these scammers, saying like, oh, hello, I'm a curly hair guy. I have this extremely ugly girlfriend. I want to save the world, and give me 100 billion, and then everything's gonna be all right. You knew the guy's face, it was a legit guy, and then he did it, whatever he did. So if we go in that way, then Richard can truly show the people, you have the middleman who can run away with your money. You want to participate in things? Unfortunately, you need to do something about it. You have to get involved. You have to learn. You have to educate yourself. I'm not a pizza delivery guy that I'm going to bring in a box like a stack of cash, press the bell, and then just hand it over to you. No. You need to do something about it. So guess what? Educate yourself. I had an argument with my mom today because she's like, oh, I don't know how to do these things on the phone. And I'm like, come on, man, like, look at it's like a camera symbol on your thing, just press it. Well, anyway, so then Richard can truly show like, okay, this is the real DeFi. You want to have your certificate, your deposit and saving account? It's called hex.com. You go on the thing, you log in, you do everything yourself, you start and finish the whole thing. If you say something like you say to your wife, I love you so much and I'm going to take you to X and Z place next time, then you commit to that thing. Same thing here. If you want to commit to a hex stake for a year, you have to commit to a hex stake for a year. Otherwise, the half of it going to get eaten up, or maybe 6 months down the line, you can get something if you have 1 year stake and half of it is done. So then he could truly present to the people all these good stuff that we are an independent, like Switzerland. Switzerland cannot care or doesn't care what another country is doing. Switzerland is fine on its own. It's not dependent on like the European Union or another country importing or exporting. No, Switzerland is like, fine. If we do extra things, it's good for us, but we're not dependent on anyone. So maybe our push chain and hex, these things can become like an entire separate thing from anything else. And then we can truly take off. And after that, it's going to be down to the participants. And then seeing these guys, sorry, I'm talking too much. Finish last sentence. Seeing these guys dumping these bigger bags on hex and whatever is good for us, because we need the redistribution, a more equal, when everyone is like a decent citizen, not like, oh, I'm the landlord. Oh, you can only afford like 1 room. Okay, here we go. It's gonna be more equally spread out, and then we're gonna be like a more mature and more stable up into the right. Hopefully, that's my theory about previous cycles and future possibilities.
No, and I like it. I think it's interesting. In fact, that ties in pretty nice to this post that Sami made a couple of days ago, where you're looking at DeFi on Ethereum, and it's still like, not most of it hasn't moved yet, still kind of in the dumpster. And last time around, Hex led the DeFi run. The question is, will Richard Heart's stuff lead this next DeFi run? I mean, I don't even think it's crazy. Kind of like Corey said, how I think we got plenty of time, and I don't think you need to be first to pump to get all the right attention. I think that you just want to time the pump so you can get the most out of it. And frankly, I think the time to really send it is when some of this other stuff starts to move, and then you throw your hat in the ring and we're off to the races. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the powers that be choose to do this time around. Yep.
I agree. Well said, gentlemen.
Cool, guys. We've got to jump over and do a recording here shortly for the Hex conference.
Only
with our friend
because
Robert and Alex.
Phraseology showed up, and
Yep.
he always does.
So this year you are invited. You're gonna speak on the panel. Because
Dane
last year I
will-
was really if I may say, I was last year really disappointed with Matty that you put in so much effort and time into this, and then not being invited to be able to talk on the conference last time was like.
I was invited. We were invited, but I was in the
Ah.
middle of my move to Puerto Rico, and
Okay.
we couldn't make the times work. Like the times he was giving me. I mean, he's got like how many? I mean, dude, he's got like 100 people he's putting on there. Like,
Yeah,
I get
it's
it. Like,
definitely
I
difficult to
get it,
organize
and
it
that's
for
fine.
sure. Yeah.
He does a lot of work. But like, you know, yeah, it was hard, man. I was in the middle of moving and I was trying to get on, but like, I was like, look, man, let's just do it next time. Like,
But this year you're gonna do something.
We are doing some. We should be on twice. Dane won't be on the second time. We're doing a special. I don't want to ruin it, but we're doing a special clip or special show for the conference. It's going to be a surprise. If you guys follow my Twitter and some of the people that we onboard and stuff like that, you might get some hints.
Oh yeah. That property.
We have a special little show that's going to be pre-recorded because we had to make it a pre-record. We couldn't do it live, and then I should be on live. Probably one of the like the where they have like 10 influencers on or something like that, or 10 YouTubers, and then they're all sitting around talking. I think it's something like that. I'm not sure the details yet, but I'm very open to whatever he needs this time around. Even if like I have to come on at like 11 o'clock at night, I don't care. I'll do it because I'm open. Like I these few days that he's doing the conference, I'm available. So I told him, I said, yeah, man, for whenever you need me on, I'm on this time. So we should be on. So
nice one.
Yep, this should be good. So we appreciate you guys popping on. Make sure to to check out Matty's Hex conference. That'll be fun to be able to see the people that pop in there.
He's got a spot reserved. Now, I don't know. Once again, no expectations from the profit of work of others, whatever you want to say. He's got a spot reserved, though, for Richard Hart. Now, he's probably my guess or speculation is going to be he's going to have Richard Hart pre-record a video that he'll plop in there, and we'll see what happens. But I guess history has it that he's done every year Hex Conference this time, he's done a live stream. I don't know. Oh, wouldn't that be wild if he reappeared for that? Like, that would be wild, man. But
that'd be cool.
I'll be happy with a pre-recorded stream. Like, to me, that's good enough. Like, I'm getting RH. It's like, I guess people want a bit of like asking questions in the comment. I don't know why they're so like overly worried and concerned that they got to have them live. Like, why? Like, he made a video for you that's an hour long. Like, what do you need? You want to go on there and tell him to F off and FUD him so bad? Like, that's all you want him on live for. A wild RH appearing would be crazy. Yeah. Oh, come on, Briz. Oh man, you're not very good with these streams either, man.
Every time at the end,
you come in and you call the top on the day when we have to get off, and don't do it with RH's stream.
Yeah, I love it.
But it would be good, man. I would love to see it. I mean, I'll be watching it. I'm participating. I'm around for it. My next trip is in the middle of next week. So guys, that's also before we hop off, we won't be streaming next week. RH trolls us and acts like me too, bro. That would give me some more accumulation zone. Like, I need more accumulation time, please. Like, you're never happy with your bag. Like, you're always like, I want more. But next week, guys, we'll be we're taking a break. Dane's traveling, and then I have an event I'm going to in Dallas, and so we won't be returning into the following week. I'm not sure you coming back like a Sunday or something, Dane, or a Saturday of the following week. I can't even remember.
Yep.
So maybe the following week, Monday or Tuesday at the latest, we'll be on.
The 15th or 16th one will probably fire back up.
Okay. Any news on the Hedron Icosa side? They are pumping. Yeah, they're pumping because Sami made a video saying that Icosa was the leverage play on Hex. And if you want to get a 10x out of Hex, you can just go buy Icosa and get a 50x. That's like literally what he said. Like in his
So
video.
many things cooking in the background. People have
Like,
no idea.
And he's not far off from the truth, because when Icosa first came out, Hedron did a 30x from its bottom. So like, can it happen again? Well, history never repeats, but it often rhymes. Like, Icosa has never seen those kind of gains yet. Like, can it do it? Sure. And maybe that's the first one to move here in Q1, as like you pointed out, Norbert, when Alex makes some announcements on the V2 launch. Maybe that's the first mover. And man, I know you guys hate when we talk about taking profits, but I'll be taking profits.
Yeah, this time I will, because
30x,
to be honest with you, since I'm doing crypto, I haven't taken any profit, because each time
I'm
was
going
like,
into Hex on that one. That's my leverage play on Hex. I'm like, all right, it goes into Hex.
And did you see, before you go quickly, that Superman was saying that Push Chain could do 100x within weeks, a matter of weeks?
I've seen a few people talk about that, because you have to get past that liquidity area on the TA chart, on the price chart. And once you get through that, it's price discovery. You could do it, but I mean, it still takes a lot of money to get us up there. It's going to.
He's been in crypto for a long time, and he had many good calls before.
I believe it too, but it's still we have a lot of resistant levels to push through before you get to that price discovery. Once you're in price discovery, you're in price discovery. Like it could whatever. Like it just goes into it doesn't. Like who knows?
Yeah.
Okay,
guys,
we gotta hop off. Yep.
Yeah, go.
So that's why we hopped on early today. We love you guys. We appreciate you. You guys make the show. Thank you so much. We'll be back the following week, not next week, the week after. So, and catch me on the Hex conference. Should be on twice. I'm hoping twice. So,
and Dane as well. All the best, guys.
Once.
Take care.
Dane will be once. Dane, you're on mute. But Dane's once. So Dane's traveling during the Hex conference. So we're not going to make him hop on live. I mean,
Yep.
You can come on your phone, dude, like in the middle of the jungle, or the mountains.
Right.
Or at the airport. Excuse me, sir, I have some special announcement to make. The security.
I'm actually introducing Richard at the conference. You guys didn't know, but there's an announcement.
Well, snap.
Just kidding.
Peace, guys.
Take care.
All the best. Thank you.